Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something crucial for success in every aspect of life communication. Think about it. Your relationships, your career, even just ordering your favorite coffee, it all hinges on how effectively you communicate. Now you might be thinking, Isra, I'm already a decent communicator. But trust me, there's always room for improvement. So in this video, I'm taking you on a journey with me as I put 5 simple yet powerful communication tips into action. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the foundation of impactful communication, understanding your audience. It's easy to get caught up in what want to say, how want to say it. But the real magic happens when we shift our focus to the person or people we're speaking to. Imagine this, you're explaining a complex project at work. Are you going to use the same language and terminology with your colleagues as you would with your manager or even the CEO? Probably not, right? So before you even open your mouth or type out that message, take a moment to step into their shoes. Ask yourself, what does my audience already know about this topic? What are their pain points or aspirations? What kind of language will resonate with them? When you truly understand your audience, you can tailor your message to meet their needs. And that's when you create genuine connection and understanding. It's not about sounding smart or using fancy words. It's about making sure your message lands in a way that makes sense and resonates. Remember, communication is a two-way street. It's not just about getting your point across. It's about making sure the other person feels heard, understood, and respected. So the next time you're about to communicate, pause for a moment and ask yourself, who am I speaking to? And how can I tailor my message to resonate with them? Now that we've laid the foundation by understanding our audience, let's move on to step 2, structuring our message clearly. Think of this as creating a roadmap for your communication. Just like you wouldn't set off on a journey without knowing where you're going, you don't want to start a conversation or presentation without a clear sense of direction. When your message lacks structure, it's easy to get sidetracked, lose your train of thought, or overwhelm your audience with too much information. So, how do we bring structure to our communication? It's all about organizing our thoughts in a logical and easy-to-follow manner. Think about what you want to say and break it down into key points. Start with the most important information first and then build upon it gradually. You can use transitions like first, second, and finally to guide your audience through your message. Another helpful tip is to use visuals like mind maps, outlines, or even just a simple list to organize your thoughts before you start speaking or writing. This will help you stay on track and ensure that your message flows smoothly from one point to the next. Remember, people have limited attention spans, so it's crucial to keep your message concise and to the point. Avoid going off on tangents or getting bogged down in unnecessary details. When you structure your message effectively, you create a clear path for your audience to follow. So before you hit send on that email, deliver that presentation, or even have a casual conversation, take a moment to structure your thoughts. Step 3. The power of words. Choose them wisely. We've talked about knowing our audience and structuring our message, but now let's dive into the building blocks of communication words. Words are the fundamental tools we use to convey our thoughts, ideas, and emotions. They are the threads that weave the fabric of our interactions. The words we choose have incredible power. They can inspire, motivate, persuade, but they can also confuse, hurt, or even offend. A single word can change the entire tone of a conversation, turning a positive interaction into a negative one or vice versa. Think about it. A well-crafted phrase can stay with you for years, while a carelessly chosen word can instantly derail a conversation. Words have the ability to linger in our minds, shaping our perceptions and influencing our actions long after they have been spoken. That's why it's so important to be mindful of the language we use and to choose our words carefully. Every word we utter carries weight and significance, and being deliberate in our choices can make all the difference in how our message is received. One of the most effective ways to improve your communication is to expand your vocabulary. By learning new words, you can express yourself more precisely and vividly, making your communication more engaging and impactful. The more words you know, the more precisely you can express yourself, and the better you'll be able to connect with your audience. A rich vocabulary allows you to tailor your language to suit different contexts and audiences, enhancing your ability to communicate effectively. But it's not just about using big words to sound impressive. It's about understanding the nuances of language and selecting words that best convey your intended meaning. It's about finding the words that resonate most deeply with your audience and convey your message in a way that's both clear and compelling. The right words can create a sense of connection and understanding, fostering stronger relationships and more effective communication. For example, instead of saying good, try using words like fantastic, excellent, or outstanding to add more color and enthusiasm to your language. These words can elevate your message and make it more memorable. Similarly, instead of saying bad, you could say disappointing, unfortunate, or subpar to convey a more nuanced meaning. These alternatives can help you communicate more effectively by providing greater clarity and specificity. Another powerful technique is to use sensory language words that appeal to the five senses. Sensory language can make your descriptions more vivid and engaging, helping your audience to visualize and experience what you're describing. Instead of simply saying the food was delicious, you could say, the aroma of garlic and herbs filled the air as the juicy steak sizzled on the grill. This kind of language paints a picture in the mind of your audience, making your message more impactful and memorable. The words we choose have the power to paint pictures in our minds, evoke emotions, and inspire action. They can create vivid imagery, stir deep feelings, and motivate people to take action. So the next time you're communicating, take a moment to consider your word choices. Reflect on the impact your words might have and strive to select those that will convey your message most effectively. Remember, the power of words is immense, so choose them wisely. Step 4. Story time. Make it relatable. We've all been there, sitting through a presentation that's just a barrage of facts, figures, and bullet points. It's like being hit with a tidal wave of information, and it's overwhelming. Our eyes glaze over, our minds wander, and we retain about as much information as a sieve holds water. It's a common experience, and it highlights a crucial point about effective communication. Now think about a time when someone told you a captivating story. Maybe it was around a campfire, or during a family gathering, or even in a professional setting. You were probably hooked from the very first sentence, eager to hear what happened next. The storyteller had your full attention and you were invested in the narrative. That's the power of storytelling. It's engaging, memorable, and it helps us connect with information on a deeper level. Stories have a unique way of drawing us in and making us care. You see, our brains are wired for stories. From a young age, we learn about the world through the stories we hear and tell. It's a fundamental part of human nature. Stories help us make sense of the world around us, relate to others, and remember information more effectively. They provide context and meaning, turning abstract concepts into tangible experiences. When we hear a story, our brains release oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of trust and empathy. This chemical reaction is what makes stories so powerful in building connections. This is why storytelling is such a powerful tool for communication. It allows us to connect with our audience on an emotional level and make our messages more relatable and memorable. It's not just about sharing information, it's about creating an experience. So, how can we incorporate storytelling into our communication? It might seem daunting at first, but it's a skill that anyone can develop with practice. It's simpler than you might think. Start small and build your confidence over time. You don't need to be a novelist or screenwriter to tell a good story. Everyone has stories to share, and the key is to find the ones that resonate with your audience. Start by thinking about the message you want to convey, and then find a personal anecdote, case study, or example that illustrates your point. Personal stories are particularly effective because they add authenticity and relatability. For instance, let's say you're giving a presentation on the importance of teamwork. You could begin with a story from your own experience that highlights the value of collaboration. Instead of just listing the benefits of teamwork, you could share a story about a time when you and your team overcame a challenge by working together effectively. This not only illustrates your point, but also makes it more engaging and memorable. When you share stories, you bring your message to life and make it more relatable to your audience. Stories have the power to transform dry, factual presentations into dynamic, impactful experiences that leave a lasting impression. Step 5. Own your voice. Confidence is key. We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding our audience to harnessing the power of storytelling. Each step has been crucial in building a strong foundation for effective communication. But there's one final ingredient that can make or break your communication: confidence. Without it, even the most well-crafted message can fall flat. Think about a speaker who captivates a room. What sets them apart? It's not just their words, it's the energy they bring, the conviction in their voice, the way they command attention without demanding it. It's the way they use their body language, their gestures, and their eye contact to draw people in. It's the passion they convey and the authenticity they exude. That's the magic of confident communication. It's a powerful tool that can transform the way your message is received. When you communicate with confidence, people are more likely to listen to you, believe in what you're saying, and trust your judgment. Your confidence can inspire confidence in others. On the other hand, if you lack confidence, your message can easily get lost, no matter how brilliant it may be. People may doubt your credibility or simply tune out. So, how do we cultivate this elusive confidence? It starts with believing in yourself and the value of what you have to say. Confidence is not about being perfect, it's about being authentic and true to yourself. It starts with believing in yourself and the value of what you have to say. Remember, your voice and your perspective matter. You have something unique to offer the world, so own it. Remember, your voice and your perspective matter. You have something unique to offer the world, so own it. Embrace your individuality and let it shine through in your communication. One of the best ways to build confidence is to practice. The more you communicate, the more comfortable you'll become with it. Practice helps you refine your message and delivery. One of the best ways to build confidence is to practice. The more you communicate, the more comfortable you'll become with it. Start by practicing in low-stakes situations, like talking to friends or family members. Start by practicing in low-stakes situations, like talking to friends or family members. These familiar settings provide a safe space to experiment and grow. Start by practicing in low-stakes situations, like talking to friends or family members. These familiar settings provide a safe space to experiment and grow. Pay attention to your body language. Stand tall, make eye contact, and use gestures to emphasize your points. Pay attention to your body language. Stand tall, make eye contact, and use gestures to emphasize your points. Your physical presence can greatly influence how your message is received. When you feel good physically, it translates into greater confidence in your communication. Simple actions like stretching, doing a power pose, or taking deep breaths can make a big difference. Another helpful tip is to prepare thoroughly. When you know your stuff inside and out, you're less likely to feel flustered or unsure of yourself. Preparation builds a solid foundation for confidence. When you know your stuff inside and out, you're less likely to feel flustered or unsure of yourself. Preparation builds a solid foundation for confidence. Review your material, anticipate questions, and practice your delivery. So the next time you're communicating, remember to breathe, believe in yourself, and let your confidence shine through. Your voice is powerful, and with confidence, you can make it heard. Level up your communication. You've got this. And there you have it. 5 actionable steps to boost your communication skills and unlock a whole new level of connection and impact. Remember, effective communication is a skill that takes practice, but with these tips and a little bit of effort, you can become a more confident and impactful communicator in all areas of your life. If you enjoyed this video and found these tips helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and let me know in the comments which tip resonated with you the most. I'm excited to see you level up your communication and make your voice heard.